Hi everyone, Stepan here. I'm getting prepared for another game, and while we wait, I'm going to talk a bit about the plans for the channel because many of you have been asking about the theory videos and other stuff. So the plan is I'm going to finish the 2 English videos. Okay, we have a game, that's good. And this guy is leading me 1-0. Okay, so I'm going to finish the 2 English videos after this game. So this is going to be the last training game for now. I'm going to do the reverse Sicilian and the symmetrical English. The symmetrical English is coming out first. Now this move order knight f3 e3 is the quiet Slav, so I get to play bishop f5. I can get away with it because the knight isn't on c3 and there isn't enough pressure on d5. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm going to finish the 2 English videos and then I'm going to do the Vienna. I've been working on the Vienna for a while, as well as the English videos. What I want to say. I'm trying to concentrate on the game and what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'll be finishing those 2. And then after that, I think I'll move on to patching up the E4 series after the Vienna, and then I'm doing the Reti and the Nimzo Larsen and the bird. So that's what I'm thinking. Just so you know. So after this video, tomorrow the symmetrical English is coming out, and then the reverse Sicilian, and then the Vienna. Now let's get into the game. I'm not even sure I played the correct move. I believe I should have played bishop e4. Ooh, I should have played bishop e4, not bishop g4. I messed up. Is it possible that I messed up? Yeah, I wasn't thinking. Bishop e4 was the correct move. That explains why he's confused. Why is this bad? I'm trying to figure out why this would be bad. So bishop e4, and the idea is if knight e4, then d4, misplacing the knight on h4. Against this, is there a downside? If queen b3, then queen b6 seems fine. Why wasn't I thinking during the opening? Maybe bishop g4 is okay. I'm trying to figure out how he could punish me. If he plays f3, then bishop h5, g4, knight d7. Knight fd7 seems okay. I mean, since he is 2300 and he is confused, I'm guessing bishop g4 is not a move, but I don't see a clear refutation. Neither f3 nor h3 seem to be that strong. Still, I believe bishop e4 was correct. I mean, what are his candidates? He can go knight e2, he can go bishop e2, he can go... Yeah, okay, so now I take. Yeah, now I take, now I don't have another move. So at least I got my bishop out of the pawn chain. Can I go knight e4 here to ruin his pawn structure? Knight e4, queen h4. Where does the knight move? Knight e4, queen h4. Knight c5 seems annoying. So no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, let's just develop. Let's just go... He's gonna go e4 next move. No, he's not, because I play knight takes e4. And then if knight takes e4, I have queen h4. And then if knight c5. So, let's say... okay, I go knight bd7, e4, knight e4. Knight e4, queen h4 seems good. Okay. Still preventing e4. Okay, that's probably smart. Now he wishes to go e4. So maybe bishop g4 was okay. He just wasted 2 tempi on knight h4, knight f3. And I have a lead in development almost. So if bishop b4, then castles, then takes, and knight e4 doesn't seem good enough. I don't want to give up my dark squared bishop. If bishop d6, then e4, d4, knight e4, knight e4, queen e4, knight f6 seems reasonable. If bishop e7, same thing. If knight e4, then knight e4, d4, knight d2 does not seem too good. The question is only whether I want my bishop on d6 or on e7. I think I don't want to waste time, so I'm gonna play bishop d6. I'm expecting e4. Maybe I made a mistake, like, okay, he didn't play e4. So, can I go knight e4 now? So knight e4, d4, knight d2. Knight f3, threatening maybe bishop h2, but not really. So knight e4, d4, knight d2. Can I go f5? Kind of like keeping his bishop blocked. I like knight e4. Now I definitely don't have time for queen h4 after knight d2. But knight e4, d4, knight d2, f5. He doesn't have d5. Knight e4, d4, knight d2, f5, f3 takes. Rook takes, castles. What's that position like? I like it. It may be risky, but I'm going to go for it. I don't want to allow e4. And if he didn't play it now, then I'm gonna try to stop it. If he takes on d5 first, I'm gonna take on c3. I think. I don't know. Knight e4 is thematic, and knight e4 played. Okay. Okay, can I go f5 now? f5 seems reasonable. f5, cd5, ed5. f5. f5 seems very logical to me. I'm going f5. It may be a mistake because I'm weakening my structure, but keeping a grip over e4 means that this bishop is bad. So I'm just trying to play against the bishop. I think he had to go e4. This is basically a stone wall without the bad bishop. So it must be fine for me. I mean, I remember preparing these f5, d5 structures a lot in the semi-Slav. And if black manages to get away with this, while the bishop is still on c1, I see no reason for white to be equal. The bad news that I have very little coffee left. almost none. Other than that, everything seems fine. Yes, I do. Lucia is offering me her coffee, so that's great. Thank you. Yes. Also, my coffee had some stuff in it. Ugh. Some residue, coffee residue. I don't know the name in English. In Croatian, it's zoc. Okay, back to the game. I'm not going to be wasting time. So what are his options? I mean, in regards to developing the bishop. The bishop could go to d2, but that doesn't do anything. It could go to a3, but that's illegal and defended. It could go to b2, but it's simply no good, because if b3 I take the knight and the exchange. So I'm really struggling to find a plan for white. I think white played very poorly out of the opening, allowing knight e4 and f5. And now I don't even have to castle, I can go g5. g5 seems very scary. I think the opening had gone wrong for white. And if this is to be a Dutch, a stonewall Dutch, then on cd I take ed and prepare a kingside attack. Now I admittedly don't have a lot of experience in the stonewall, but it's very natural. It seems very natural to play this position without the bad bishop on c8. This is a stonewall where white is the one with the bad bishop. That's extremely strange. So I have to be better here. I'm not going to think of plans until I see what white does. I don't see an easy move for white. Maybe knight d2 makes sense to challenge the e4 square with f3 later, but against that I believe I can just go queen h4, provoking g3, making f3 pretty unplayable after queen h3. So for example, knight d2, queen h4, g3, queen h3, f3, maybe even bishop g3 works, or knight g3. Yeah, when look at this, what does he do? He had to go e4. And then when I played knight e4, he had to take it. We would have had the same position, but his knight would have been on d2, and I would have had a position without the d pawn, which would have allowed him to play d5, break down my position before I can safely castle. As it stands now, I don't see a single useful pawn break for white. b4 is hanging with, I mean, loses the knight and the exchange. cd doesn't change the nature of the position at all. I don't know. He just has a bad bishop on c1. And I can either castle or go g5. So let's say white did nothing. Would I castle or go g5? I think I would castle first. still don't know if bishop g4 was wrong in the opening. Maybe it was. Or I believe it was. Bishop e4 was the move. He's down to 6 minutes. I've never been 6 minutes up on the clock. 5:45 now. So more than 6 minutes. Yeah, knight d2 makes sense. Knight d2 does make sense. Now I was thinking queen h4. So queen h4 g3 is forced. Queen h3. Queen h4, g3, queen h3. If he goes queen f1, I mean, I'm still happy with my position because... Okay, so queen h4, g3, queen h3, queen f1. He wants to play f3, e4. Can I get away with bishop h2? Bishop h2, king h2. Queen h4. King g1. No, doesn't seem that way. But I could consider queen h4, g3, queen h3, queen f1, queen h6, f3, knight g5. Or I mean, I could just castle here, provoking f3 and then going queen h4. So castles f3, queen h4, g3. Knight g3, h3, bishop g3. Is that enough? It doesn't seem enough. So queen h4, g3. Queen h3. Maybe queen h4 isn't good. Okay, I'm going to castle. I'm not convinced that queen h4 is a good move. Let him play f3. He doesn't play f3? I was really expecting f3. I need to get my other rook into play. So I'm guessing I can play something like rook h6, rook f6 and rook h6. And then if f3, I take on c3 and go rook h6. So rook f6, f3, knight c3, bc3, rook h6. Seems good. As long as I keep the bishop blocked in, I'm happy with my position. Now that the knight isn't on d2, he doesn't have an easy e4 at least. Okay, f3. Now I think I have to go knight c3. Yeah, rook f6 was a bad move. I should not have played rook f6. Now I'm not in time to prevent e4. So knight c3, bc3, rook h6, e4 actually attacks my rook. I should not have gone rook f6. Now, can I go knight g5? No, definitely not. Okay, I have to take on c3. I messed up. He's gonna go e4 next. So what do I do? So he's playing e4. If I go rook g6, he plays e4. Can I ignore that? Can I go rook g6, e4, fe4, fe4, knight f6? He goes e5. Ugh, I ruined my position. Unless I can get away with e5. And I'm down on the clock now. And he's threatening to win the exchange with bishop g5. So I either have to move my rook or my queen. Okay, I'm gonna go queen f8 because I want to get away from this pin. And I want to give myself the option to go e5, bishop c5. Although he doesn't have to take on e5. Where did I go wrong? I saw knight d2. He didn't play e4. Can I just go b6? I mean, he's still playing e4 later. I should probably go b6 because I don't want to lose a pawn. This doesn't change much. Why doesn't he play e4? Okay, so takes, queen takes, e5. Weakening the diagonal. Or maybe even rook f2. I'm going to take. And then either go e5 or take. So takes, queen takes, rook f2. Am I creating a threat? He just wants to take on c6. That's why he played rook b1. I mean, I could go c5. Okay, I have to take, I think. And now, do I go rook f2? Is there anything with rook f2? Oh, is there anything with knight c5? Knight c5, dc5, bishop c5, there's always bishop e3. If I go c5, he goes d5. I take it once. But then he has... Okay, I'm going c5. I need to stop wasting time. I can go rook f2 later. Oh, I had rook f1. No, he had queen e6 in the end. Okay, so rook f1, bishop h2, king h2, queen f1, queen e6 check, king h8, and then queen takes bishop. Yeah, okay, because of e6 I didn't have rook f1. Or or sorry, not queen e6 check, queen takes rook. But okay, there was still a pawn on c6. So I need to go rook e8, and then I'm threatening rook f1 unless he moves the bishop away. So let's say my rook is on e8. Yeah, okay, he stops that. Now everything's defended. I have to go rook g6. I have to defend my e pawn. I have to. There are no other options. Okay. I like rook e8. He goes knight somewhere to chase my queen away with rook f1. But then I have knight f6. Okay, I'm gonna go rook e8 so that I can go knight f6 without losing my e pawn. And so that I can move my queen without blundering my rook. Okay, he wants to go rook f2. I'm gonna go knight f6 because I'm out of time. Yeah, I opened up his bishop, he played e4, and he is probably better now. I managed to mess up a very good position, and to be honest, I don't know where I went wrong. Maybe I should have gone for queen h4 instead of castles. If he takes on f6, yeah, he doesn't take. Okay. I need a plan. Maybe I can go e5, e5 d5, e4. Is that a strong pawn? I don't think so. But I could go CD, CD, and E5, and then on D5 I have the C5 square for my bishop. Okay, I wanted to get some squares for my pieces. I think he has to go D5. So D5, bishop C5, bishop F2 knight G4. D5, bishop C5, bishop F2 knight G4. That seems very good for me. And if he takes on C5, queen C5 check. King H1, rook F8. Sorry, there's someone at the door. Let me see who it is. Akira. I'm sorry about this. Why would he do that? Can I take on d4? It's with tempo on the queen. Ah, he has queen. He has queen c4. Just a second. Here. Sorry, the postman came. Lucia needed some change, but I don't have it. Kira, dosta! Ah! What am I doing? I'm a pawn up? Okay, I'm a pawn up. We're both under a minute. I need to save my pawn. Let's save the pawn. Ah no, he has bishop c5, knight c5, rook d5. No, he doesn't, because I have king e6 and on rook c5, bishop d4. He cannot take the bishop because of king d6. Kira, dosta. I'm really sorry about this, but sometimes things happen. He has to take the knight. I don't have time for knight f3 because he plays rook a6, trading rooks. But not if I go king d5 first. Or king d5, actually he has. He had knight e3 there. So now... Okay. Sorry for not talking, I just cannot talk. How stupid can I be sometimes? I don't believe I did this. I don't believe I did this. He just goes rook c2 and it's game over. Good game. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, both moves are okay. Bishop g4 is slightly rare, but okay. Oh, Jesus, I'm so upset. Okay, I'm obviously better after f5. On knight d2, castles is correct. Knight f1. Rook f6 is bad. Wait, rook b8 is a good move? Okay. Okay, CD4 and D5 was good. I'm happy I found it. BC5, K. Yeah, this is a winning endgame. Unfortunately, I'm down under a minute. Rook F6 was good. Wait, so on king c4 I'm better? On winning the pawn I'm equal. You had to get behind the pawn. Okay, I obviously just blundered the exchange here, but yeah, this is winning. But it's not winning if he goes knight f5. Because he's threatening knight e7. Okay, so instead of taking this pawn, I should have gone king c4. Okay, let's say rook c7. Here, knight f1. Why not knight f3 check? Okay, it's good. Wait, this is still because I lose the g7 pawn. Okay, so knight f5 first. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I just blundered in a probably winning endgame. But I also messed up the position earlier on. I really believed I was much better after f5. And it's only slightly better. So this was the best move. And then this was the best move. And then I should have gone bishop c7, which I don't understand at all. I have no idea what bishop c7 does. Now it says queen e7, queen h4, or knight c3. Rook f6 is inaccurate, but I'm still slightly better. Knight c3 only move. Queen a5. I did not consider queen a5. I played queen f8, and now it's equal. Rook b1 is... I don't believe that rook b1 is good. That seems odd to me. e4, fe4, fe4, d4, queen e4. c5 is good, bishop g5 is good. I like c5 and the fact that I found this. Obviously I couldn't take this pawn because he plays queen c4 check and wins, takes my bishop. So queen c4 here is a mistake. I should have gone king h8, but queen f7 is okay. Ooh, rook g4. It's very strong. Yeah, and then I take on c5. Okay. Opportunities missed, but it's very hard to play well when you don't have any time on the clock. This was still a good game. I'm happy with the game. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.